Well, hello, it's been a while, been a bit busy with life, but we're here now. Well, let's get started. Yeto's Superb Soup, a dish I was very curious about since I played Zelda Twilight Princess back in 2007, when my dad bought a game sphere for me and my siblings. And well, as I usually do in the making of these videos, let's try to portray this dish as close as it looks and would taste in the video game. But let us be honest, it kind of looks appetizing, I guess, but no. You know what? Forget what I just said. I obviously still gonna use the main ingredients, and also it's going to have a little bit of that gourmet-like presentation. So let us get started. Seriously though, how does a pumpkin and a wheel of cheese from Ordon end up at the peak of a snowy mountain? Okay, here's the pumpkin. We don't get a lot of this here in Peru, and I do confess this is the first time I'm going to use one for a dish. Well, we got these that are way bigger and yellow on the inside, so I suppose the cooking methods are similar. Alright, firstly I'm going to take the top off, followed by the seeds, and then, well, at the time I knew near to nothing about pumpkins, well, these kind of pumpkins, so I did completely ignore that there were regular pumpkins, like the one I have here, and carving pumpkins. So I thought to myself, great, I am going to use the exterior part as a vessel for the dish presentation, like, you know, pretty much what they do with piña coladas. So I thought on scraping the inner parts of the pumpkin, so I end up cooking that part, and I would just leave the exterior for what I just described. But as I was scraping the pumpkin from the inside, something didn't seem right, because I somehow believed that the exterior part was going to be thicker, but that wasn't the case. So in the end it was like, screw it, just chop the whole thing in pieces and place it in an open pan with some olive oil, salt, pepper, and bake it for around an hour at 180 degrees Celsius until it's done. And that's it for the pumpkin for now. Okay, next part. I'm going to make a veggie base for the soup, which is, well, maybe you have guessed it at this point. It's a blend soup. We'll start by peeling and chopping a whole leek, 2 white onions, medium size, and a carrot, also medium size. The size of the pieces must be alike, so they cook equally. Anyways, get a pot on mid-high heat, add a stick of butter, let it melt, add the veggies, let them cook on that same heat for a couple of minutes, then turn it down to low heat and keep cooking for around 25 minutes, and slowly stirring from time to time. Next, another main ingredient. According to the game, we're gonna be using a fish called rakefish, which looks pretty much like a salmon. I've seen a good amount of videos on YouTube using salmon for the recipe, and the vast majority of those recipes suggest that you just take the salmon, cook it, crumble it into bits, and add it to the soup, which is pretty much expected in what we would have in the game, especially if this soup is made by a giant-ass Yeti. But not this time, because instead of salmon I'm going to use trout, which flavor is a little less strong, but still will make a good equilibrium with both the pumpkin and the goat cheese. So here we are. I got 2 small trout, which I'm going to descale. Is that a thing? Yeah, that's a word now. Wait, give me a sec. Oh yeah, it exists. Okay, moving on. Then chop the head off, take the spine off, that you can add to the leek, carrot, and onion veggie base. Cut it in half, or bite size, whatever works for you. Oh, and don't forget to add some paprika to the veggie base, highly recommended. Anyways, add salt and pepper to your trout fillets and then leave them into the fridge until we need them. Back to the pumpkin. After the hour or so in the oven, I left them to cool off for half an hour. That's why I am grabbing the pan with my bare hands. Then I would just proceed with the help of a spoon to take the peel out, or more specifically, scrape the pumpkin off the peel. But something wasn't quite right again, and it was that still was a little bit undercooked, so I said, screw it again, I'll just steam it into a pot until it's completely done. That means adding all the pieces into a pot along with 1 or 2 cups of water. Put the lid on and finish the cooking process with the steam generated by the heat. And finally, after taking all the peel off, which was way easier now, I can finally blend it and strain it. And then I have a little of heavy cream or evaporated milk. Your choice. And of course do the same with the other veggie base, obviously taking out the fish pieces first. and the bland soup always goes great with a crunchy element. On this occasion, I'm going to add a few pieces of toasted bread along with some grated Edam cheese on top. I haven't forget about the goat cheese. As you can see, I managed to find this little fancy herby goat cheese tube that I'm going to cut in small slices. And finally, with that, we've got everything for the dish assembly. So once again, thank you for watching. Enjoy!